Hey, welcome! Today, we're going to tackle a really big idea, one that can change everything. We're going to explore the hidden purpose that might just be hiding in plain sight, right in the middle of our greatest challenges.
So, let's just jump right in with a question that might hit close to home. What if that thing you're going through right now, you know the one, the thing that feels like it's absolutely breaking you, what if it's actually making you? Seriously, what if this difficult season is the very thing that's forging you into the person you were always meant to be?
To even wrap our heads around that, we've got to start by changing how we look at pain itself. So, this first section is all about getting a brand new perspective on hardship. I mean, let's be real, our first instinct, our human gut reaction when things get tough is to get out, run. Pain feels like an enemy, right? It's this blaring alarm that says something is wrong, and we just want to make it stop. We think suffering means we've made a wrong turn, and the only goal is to find the nearest exit. And look, that's totally normal. But what if that instinct is actually causing us to miss the entire point? Okay, and this is where things get, well, pretty wild. The book of James kicks off with this absolutely mind-bending statement. Consider it pure joy when you face trials. Now I know, when you're in the thick of it, when the pain is real, that can sound kind of crazy, maybe even a little insulting. Joy? Seriously? But it hangs in the air and makes you ask, what did the person who wrote this know that maybe I don't?
So this slide really lays out the two mindsets, doesn't it? On the left, that's our default mode. Trials are roadblocks. Pain means we're losing. Hardship is just a problem we need to get rid of. But this new view over on the right, it flips the whole script. All of a sudden, those trials become opportunities. The pain is just part of the process. And the hardship, well, it might just have a purpose after all.
And this takes it to a whole other level. It's asking us to think about the stuff that was actually meant to hurt us. You know, the betrayals, the unfair situations, the junk other people do. Could even that be twisted around and used for our good? It's a staggering thought that maybe one day you could look at all the mess, all the pain in your life, and somehow, right at the bottom of the page in big bold letters, all good. So if these trials aren't just random, awful things happening, then what is the purpose? Why would a God who loves us allow all this difficulty? That's what we're going to dig into next, the purpose of the whole process.
You know, it's such an easy trap to fall into. We think, man, life is hard. God must be mad at me, or he doesn't care, or he's just not there. It feels logical. But here's the radical idea we're exploring. What if the hard stuff isn't a sign that he's left? What if it's actually proof that he loves you? To help this make sense, let's look at 3 analogies from our own lives that we already understand. We see it all the time, with a good parent, a good coach, and a good teacher. Challenge is often a sign of deep, deep care. Just think about it. A really good parent knows that if they protect their kid from every single struggle, every scraped knee, every friendship problem, every tough homework assignment, they're not helping, they're actually crippling them. So out of love, they let their kids face stuff they can handle, because they know that's how they build the strength they'll need for the bigger things later on. And it's the same with a good coach, right? A coach sees potential. They don't give the team easy drills. No way. They push them. They make them sweat. They take them right past what they thought their limits were. Not because they're mean, but because they know that pressure is what forges a champion. That challenge is a signal of their belief in you.
And finally, a good teacher. They don't just hand out A's on easy tests. They design projects that really make you think, that force you to stretch and actually learn the material. The goal isn't to see you fail. The goal is to see you grow. In all 3 of these examples, the person who cares the most is the one who challenges the most.
All right, so we've talked about the why. Now let's get practical. How? How exactly does going through these hard things actually build us into something stronger, both inside and out? Nature gives us this perfect, beautiful picture with the butterfly. That struggle to get out of the cocoon, it's not a mistake in the design. It's the most important part of the design. The intense pressure of fighting its way out is literally what pushes the fluid into its wings, giving them the strength to fly. If you feel bad for it and try to help by cutting the cocoon open, you've just doomed that butterfly. It will never ever fly. The struggle is essential. And here's another one. Think about a tree that gets slammed by wind and storms all the time. What does it do? It's forced to drive its roots deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground just to hold on. It becomes solid, anchored. Now you take a tree grown in a nice cozy greenhouse, perfect conditions, no wind, no struggles. It looks great, but its roots are shallow. The very first real storm that rolls through is going to knock it flat. The storms built the foundation. And this is one we all get, right? If you want to build muscle, you literally have to tear it down on a tiny level. That soreness, that strain from a workout, that is the process of growth. If you avoid that feeling, if you never push yourself, you just stay weak. And it's the exact same principle for our character, for our faith, for our spirit.
So you've got the butterfly, the tree, and the muscle. 3 really different pictures that all point to the same truth. I would absolutely love to hear from you on this. Which one of those hits home for you right now? Which one best describes what you've been through? Go ahead and drop it in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you think.
Okay, so if we lean into this process, if we choose to endure the struggle instead of just running from it, what's on the other side? What's the payoff? This next part is all about the promise, the result of persevering.
This brings us to a truth that is so simple, but so deep. As you see here, the road that challenges you is the one that changes you. It's just true. If something doesn't challenge you, it will never, ever change you. We spend so much time praying for the easy path, but the easy path doesn't produce anything. The change we're looking for is always found on the challenging road.
And there's actually a roadmap for this in the Bible. The Apostle Paul lays it out so clearly. It starts with suffering. Nobody likes that part. But that suffering, when you stick with it, produces perseverance. That's just a fancy word for grit, for not quitting. And that perseverance forges character. You become someone who's been tested and proven to be strong. And then, that character produces a hope that's not just wishful thinking. It's a rock-solid hope because it's been through the fire.
I want you to just think back over your own life for a second. Think about your best qualities, your biggest strengths. Where did they come from? Yeah, the good times were great, but I bet, if you're honest, you can see that it was in the battles, in the hard times, that your real strength was forged. That's where you found out what you were really made of. And this leads to an unbreakable rule. 100% of the time, the more you go through, the more you can get through. Every single trial you overcome actually expands your capacity for the next one. It's like getting calluses on your hands. The friction builds toughness that makes you able to handle even more next time. You are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for.
This brings us to our last section, and honestly, maybe the most important one. This is for anybody listening who feels like you're down for the count, like the fight is over. I need you to hear this. Your comeback is possible.
We are terrified of failing, aren't we? We think messing up or falling down or hitting a dead end is the absolute worst thing. We think it's the end of the story, but that's not what failure is. There is only one way, one single way to truly be a failure in this life.
And there it is. The only true failure is when you give up. As long as you are willing to get back up one more time, to take one more step, you haven't failed, you're still in the process. The only way the story ends is if you decide to quit.
Please, let this sink in. Your comeback story is always, always on the table. The breakthrough you're praying for could be right around the next corner. The only thing that can actually stop it from happening is your decision to stop moving forward. So whatever you do, don't quit. Just hold on. So, instead of trying to run from the hard stuff, what if we decided to face it, trusting that something good is being made in us? This isn't about pretending it doesn't hurt. Of course it hurts. It's about believing a foundational truth. And that truth is this: you can do hard things. You have what it takes. And you're being strengthened right now by the very thing that feels like it's taking all your strength. I want you to say it to yourself right now. Even if you just whisper it, say it. I can do hard things because you've done them before and you can do them again. And when you really truly start to believe that, when you live from that place, you don't just get through your challenges, you grow through them. You become better. You become who God designed you to be all along. You can do hard things. So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought to carry with you. That fight you're in right now, that struggle, that pain, I want you to try and stop seeing it as just a problem that's trying to stop you. From now on, start asking a different question. What is this battle making me into for tomorrow?
If you were inspired with this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Thankful. And if you know somebody who's going through it right now and really needs to hear this, feel free to share this video with them as well. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.